Alright, time for the distance formula assignment. For this whole thing, we're going to be using this magical equation of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Remember, the x2 and the y2 come from the rightmost point on your lines. The x1, y1 comes from the leftmost point. So when you're trying to figure out which one's which, follow that. So on this one, this is x2, y2, y2, the coordinates there, and this is x1, y1. Okay, this one has the coordinates of 1, negative 2. This one up here has the coordinates of negative 5, 5. And we're just going to use our equation then. So the equation is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And you square root that whole thing. We're looking at 1 minus negative 5 is 6. I need to square that. I'm going to get 36. Negative 2 minus 5 is negative 7. Square that, you're going to get 49. Remember, negative 7 squared is positive 49, okay? Negative times negative, that's what it means to square it. That number times itself, you get positive 49. Add those together, you're looking at 85. Square root of 85 is approximately 9.2. On this whole assignment, you're rounding to the nearest tenth, so that's the first decimal place. Moving on to 2, this over here on the right side, that's x2, y2, has coordinates of 4, 0. Leftmost one, that's x1 and y1, has coordinates of negative 5, 1. I'm just going to use our equation again. 4 minus negative 5 squared plus 0 minus 1 squared. 4 minus negative 5 is 9. Square that, you're going to get 81. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Square that, you're going to get 1. And so you're looking at the square root of 82. And if you do that, you're looking at approximately 9.1. I'm rounding up here. Moving on to 3, x2, y2 has coordinates of 0, 3, and x1, y1 has coordinates of negative 2, 4. We're going to use those in our lovely equation. We got 0 minus negative 2 squared plus 3 minus 4 squared. 0 minus negative 2 is 2. Square that, you're looking at 4. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. Square that, you're going to get positive 1. So you're looking at square root of 5, and when you do that, you're looking at approximately 2.2. On 4, when you get to vertical or horizontal ones, just count it. You can use your distance formula, but it's going to give you the same thing. Because what happens here is there's no change in the x, and so x2 minus x1 squared is going to be 0. And so you just count it down or count it up. It's distance is always positive, and this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 6 is your answer. Moving on to 5, again, just count it 1, 2, 3, 4, and we got an answer of 4. Moving on to 6, over here on the right side, that's x2, y2. You have coordinates of 3, negative 5. And on the left side, you got coordinates of negative 2, 0. Plugging those into our lovely equation, you got 3 minus negative 2. Square that guy. I'm going to add negative 5 minus 0 squared. That's a 0. 3 minus negative 2 is 5. Square that, you're going to get 25. And negative 5 squared is positive 25. So you got a square root of 50. Plug that into your lovely calculator, you're looking at approximately 7.1. Moving on to 7, now we just have these 2 points, and we just use those to get our distance. Hold on a second. So, when deciding which one is x1 and y1, which one's x2 and y2, look at your x-coordinates. Whichever one's greater, that's your x2, and the y2 goes with it. So, the -7 one is our x1. And we're going to use those for our coordinates. You just take your equation that we've been using the whole assignment and plug stuff in. We got -2 minus -7. Square that. Add 3 minus -7, square that. You're going to get -2 minus -7 is going to give you +5, square that. It's going to give you 25. 3 minus -7 is 10, square that, you're going to get 100. We're looking at square root of 125. Plug that in your calculator to get an approximation. It's approximately 11.2. Moving on to 8, whichever one's farther to the right, well, positive numbers are bigger than negative numbers, so these ones are your x2, y2, x1, y1. That's the second point there. Use those to fill out our equation. 2 minus -1 squared plus -9 minus 4 squared. 2 minus -1 is 3, square that, you're going to get 9. You need to add -9 minus 4 is going to give you -13, square that. I don't actually have that memorized. Oh, it's 169. 169. Add those together, you're going to get 178. So you're looking at the square root of 178, which is approximately 13.3. 9. Again, the positive number is bigger than any negative numbers, so that's going to be x2, y2, x1, y1, and we're going to use that in our equation. So 5 minus -7 squared plus 9 minus -7 squared. 5 minus -7 is 12, square that, you're going to get 144. 9 minus -7 is 16, and you need to square that. That's going to give you 256. So 144 plus 256 is going to give you 400, and you need to take the square root of that, and that one is actually equal to 20, so you just write equals 20 for that. On 10, again, it seems like the pattern on this is just the first one is the x2, y2, because the 8 is bigger than -1, and so -1, 3 is your x1, y1. Use your equation of square root of x2 minus x1 squared, so 8 minus -1 squared, plus 5 minus 3 squared, that's y2 minus y1 squared. 8 minus -1 is 9, square that, you're going to get 81. 5 minus 3 is 2, square that, you're going to get 4. You're looking at the square root of 85, which we've actually already done on this assignment, but I don't remember what the square root of that is. Oh, it gives you 9.2-ish. And moving on to 11. For this one, our second number is bigger, so -8 is bigger than -10. So the -10, -7 point is x1, y1, and -8, is x2, y2. I'm going to use that in our distance formula. We got to do x2, -8, minus y1, x1, which is -10, square it, add y2, that's 1, minus -7, that's y1, square it. -8 minus -10 is -8 plus 10, which is 2, square that, you're going to get 4. 1 minus -7 is +8, square that, you're going to get 64. We're trying to get now the square root of 68. And the square root of 68 is approximately 8.2. And we'll do 12 real quick. -2 is bigger than -6, so -6, -10 is x1, y1. -2, -10 is x2, y2. And something I noticed is my y coordinates are the same. And so when I do y2 minus y1, I'm going to get negative 10 minus negative 10, which is 0. And these points are just horizontal of each other. So from negative 6 to negative 2 is actually just 4. And so that's my answer. This is going to be 4. You can actually take that shortcut if you need to.